Welcome back to another video, guys. And if you are wondering who is this guy with no beard and a crazy mustache, it is me. I'm Joe with Techternative. Did a little bit of a, change up here. So welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this question of how do I protect my network? And it's just going to be a series of how I would go about if I was a parent, or actually just how I do it in my own house currently, how I can go about protecting my network from the ground up. So today we're going to be talking about Cloudflare's solution to network security. It is currently what I use in my home network. So there is a couple things that you can utilize with Cloudflare for free that can bring you a better secured network. So let's dive into it. The first thing is the Cloudflare DNS. So Cloudflare runs a DNS 1111 is their flagship DNS resolver. But what you can also do is set up a free account on Cloudflare's website, and then you can manipulate how that DNS gets resolved, and you can put separate security measures in place, and then put in, content blocking, security blocking, those types of blocks on top of Cloudflare's infrastructure. So 1111 is a good DNS resolver for speed, not quite security. And you can see that in my video where I break down and I test the 5 or 6 DNS resolution servers head to head based on a group of domains I pulled from URL hosts. So a bunch of malware DNS requests, and I put them to the test, right? I have custom ones set up within Cloudflare, as well as Cloudflare's 1111. Which one comes out on top? Which one's blocking the malicious domain? So if you want to see that video, go ahead and click on that video, and it'll go a little bit more into depth on what is the best, in my point of view, DNS resolver. But today we're just going to be talking about Cloudflare, like I said. So the first line of defense for any malicious website is going to be DNS. In order to resolve a website, you have to resolve it via DNS to get the IP address and blah, blah, blah. So if you can block it right away via DNS, then your website is that website's never going to load, right? So that's the first line of defense. And like I said, it's a free product with Cloudflare. You set up an account, you get your own DNS resolver IPs, you set that up on your router, your firewall, XYZ, and then you're off to the races, right? So once you have that set up, all DNS is then proxied through Cloudflare, and Cloudflare is going to make the determination if this is malware or not, or this is command control, is this pornographic website, XYZ, depending on what you actually set up for your rules. But that only works for DNS, right? So if I have an IP address and I go directly to that IP address, I can just go to that IP address. DNS is not involved. So the other product that I like to use within my own network is Cloudflare's Warp, WARP, Warp client, which is a full secure web proxy, or secure web gateway. It proxies all of your outbound traffic through Cloudflare's gateway, their cloud. So you can actually do in-depth blocking on any types of URLs, network zones. So you can do geo blocking on their IPs. You can do a lot more in-depth security controls with all of your web-based traffic. Anything going outbound towards the internet, it'll hit Cloudflare first, and then you can make rules to then block or allow that traffic. And I utilize this a lot with my own devices. One downside is that you have to install a client onto the device, such as your phone, your computer, your Xbox, if you can, right? So what do you do when you can't do that? There is the ability to then utilize a Warp client server, essentially, just a forward proxying server. So you would set up this proxy on your router, your firewall, whatever, and then that will forward all the external bound traffic through this device, which then sends it to Cloudflare. So I can actually take traffic that my Apple TV is sending out, because I can't install the client on there, but I can proxy it through the Cloudflare's warp forward proxy out to Cloudflare for that inspection. And it decrypts your SSL packets. It can actually look at the payload. It can get a lot more in-depth security insights into the traffic that's going out to the web, and then block things based on that. This is all under Cloudflare's Zero Trust umbrella. So there are other products within Zero Trust that you can get an enterprise level, right? But for the free version, I mean, you can set up the DNS, you can set up the secure web gateway, you can set up tunnels back to your on-prem, your home network, utilizing their Cloudflare tunnels, which is actually really neat as well, because then you can utilize the Cloudflare app on your phone. And then you can, if you're away, you can utilize that as a VPN, right? So you can say, okay, my home network is 192.168.1.1, right? And then it'll, or 1.0/24, route that whole entire subnet back down to on-prem. And then you have essentially a full working secure web gateway to the cloud, to the internet, or back on-prem. So it's a fully functional, secure communication. So, and it doesn't matter if you're on Wi-Fi, it'll work on your regular cellular network. So no matter where you are always secure. And I think that's very important when you're looking at how we can secure our kids, how we can secure our loved ones from going to those sites and being manipulated and exposed. And you can cut down maybe on some of those stolen identities for your parents or your kids that don't know any better, just by installing these products and then having full control over what that traffic is doing. So I'm going to start this entire series. I'm going to break down how you set it up from the ground up. So you can I'm going to create our account. We're going to set up the DNS piece. We're also going to set up the secure web gateway piece. And then we're going to set it up on a device. So I'll bring out a phone. I'll set up the Warp client on the phone, and then see the data within the console. And then I'll also go into how you can set it up as a VPN, but that's a little bit more advanced. So if you guys only care about protecting your devices and the people that are using your devices, those videos will be great for you. If you want to get a little bit more in depth, we'll break that down as well. But today was just kind of an overview of what the Cloudflare Zero Trust product is, why I like it, and I mean, there's downsides. There's always downsides. You're putting all your eggs in one basket, right? If Cloudflare decides that one day they're just going to get rid of their Zero Trust free version, then you're kind of screwed. You're back to ground zero, right? But for the most part, right now it's free. So why not utilize it and get familiar with the products and the ideas and how you can then take that and go to the next product if Cloudflare decides, hey, we're going to start charging you. So if you're interested in that, please see the other videos in this playlist. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I'll catch you in the next video when we set up the account, the DNS, and the secure web gateway. So thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.